For as long as humanity has existed, there has been a silent struggle within it. A struggle not between nations, not between armies, but within the human mind itself. Between creation and destruction, between compassion and conflict, between understanding and fear. War is not born on battlefields. It is born in thoughts, in a moment of anger, in a seed of fear, in a belief that I am right and they are wrong. Every war in history began as an idea that grew until it consumed millions of lives. Across centuries, this inner conflict has shaped the world. Empires rose from it, civilizations fell because of it, and humanity paid the price. But what is a life? Is it just a number recorded in history? Or is it a story that was never completed, a dream that was never fulfilled, a voice that was never heard, a soul interrupted? Let us begin with the 20th century. World War I, 1914. Young men full of hope marched into war. They believed they were fighting for honor, their country, for something greater than themselves. But what they found was mud, fear, and death. Trenches became graves. Gas filled the air, and between 15 and 20 million lives were lost. At that time, nearly 1% of humanity, 1% of all human existence wiped out in just 4 years. And yet, the world did not learn. It prepared for something far worse. World War II. This was not just a war. It was destruction on an unimaginable scale. Cities burned. Nations collapsed. Humanity turned against itself. 60 to 70 million people gone. 1 in every 30 human beings disappeared from this world. And within that darkness, the Holocaust. 6 million souls targeted not for their actions, but for their identity. Entire families, entire communities erased. When hatred becomes belief and belief becomes action, destruction becomes inevitable. But this pattern did not begin in the modern world. Centuries earlier, the Mongol conquests. Across Asia, across Europe, cities fell. An estimated 30 to 40 million lives lost. At a time when humanity itself was smaller, this meant nearly 1 in 10 people on Earth. Imagine that. Every 10th person gone. In China, the Taiping Rebellion. A conflict driven by belief and desperation. 20 to 30 million lives lost again. In Europe, the 30 Years' War. Entire regions emptied. In some places, up to 30% of the population disappeared. And closer to our time, the partition of India. Though it was not a war, it was a tragedy of a larger magnitude, which could have been avoided by handling it in a better way. Neighbors who once lived together turned against each other. Families separated overnight. Homes left behind forever. Over 1 million lives lost. But numbers cannot capture the pain. And now we come to the deepest truth. When a person dies, it is not just a life that ends. A future ends. A family line ends. The children they would have raised, the generations they would have created, the love they would have shared, all disappear before they ever begin. Millions who died also took with them millions more who were never born. So the real cost of war is not just in the dead, it is in the unborn. And yet, despite all this, humanity continues to fight. Why? Why does the same story repeat? Why does the mind choose division? over unity? Is it fear? Is it greed? Is it ego, the belief that we are separate instead of one? Or is it that we have forgotten what it truly means to be human? War does not only destroy people, it destroys what people create. It destroys cities, dreams, possibilities, and perhaps most quietly, it destroys the future that could have been. Let us now look at another dimension of war, the cost that is measured in money. World War II, a conflict that consumed not only lives, but the wealth of nations. In today's terms, over $4 to $5 trillion. Think about that. Not created, not invested, not used to build, but consumed by destruction. World War I, another $3 to $5 trillion. And when the fighting stopped, the spending did not. Because everything that was destroyed had to be rebuilt. Cities, roads, industries, lives could not be rebuilt, but money continued to flow. Across history, humanity has spent over $10 to $15 trillion on wars and their consequences. 10 to 15 trillion. Now consider this. Every year, even today, the world spends over $2 trillion on military and defense. Every single year, day after day, money flows into preparation for destruction. Now ask yourself, what if even a fraction of that was used differently? Because on the other side, there is another reality. Millions of people living without enough food, children without education, families without access to healthcare, suffering not from war, but from lack. And yet, the cost to change this is far smaller. To eliminate extreme poverty worldwide, we need roughly $300 to $400 billion per year. To end hunger, just 40 to 50 billion. Let that sink in. The world spends more in a few months on war than it would take to feed every human being on Earth. More on weapons than on education, health, and survival. This is not a limitation of resources. It is a reflection of priorities. War is not just an event. It is a system. A system sustained by fear, by competition, by mistrust. A system where nations prepare not for peace, but for conflict. And behind this system are human choices. Choices shaped by ego. The desire to dominate, to control, to win. Choices shaped by fear. The belief that if we do not act first, we will be destroyed. And sometimes, choices shaped by greed. Because war is also an industry. Weapons are built, contracts are signed, profits are made, even as lives are lost. And so the cycle continues. Now we stand at a turning point. The future of war is changing. It may no longer be fought only with armies. It may be fought with code, with artificial intelligence, with invisible attacks that can disrupt entire societies. The cost may become even greater. But the real question is not what technology will do. The real question is what we will do. Because the tools have changed, but the human mind has not. The same fear, the same ego, the same desire for control still exists. So the future of humanity does not depend on machines. It depends on consciousness, on awareness, on the ability to see beyond division, to recognize that the suffering of one affects all, that humanity is not separate, but one. If even a small shift happens in how we think, in how we choose, then the same resources that once destroyed can begin to heal. Hunger can end. Education can reach every child. Healthcare can become universal, not because it is impossible now, but because it has not been chosen. And so, we arrive at the most important truth. The future is not fixed. It is not written in history or determined by power. It is shaped by choices: to build or to destroy, to divide or to unite, to repeat the past or to transcend it. The resources are here. The knowledge is here. All that remains is the decision. And that decision belongs to us.